Hello and welcome to Sunday Meal Prep. I'm Tiffany with Moms Can Be Fit and I'm so glad you've joined us. Today I'm going to be making about 4 dishes that I think that you'll enjoy. You can find all the recipes that I plan to do today on my blog, and I will put the blog address below, but it's momscanbefit.com. So up first I'm going to be doing this sweet potato frittata, which is one of my very favorites. We're going to eat this for lunch a couple times this week. So one of the things that I like to do before I even start is to make sure I have everything on hand and right in front of me in my kitchen. So for the chorizo, we need 6 eggs, a sweet potato, an onion, some garlic powder, sea salt, paprika, and over in the back you'll notice I have coconut oil or ghee. Really you could choose either one to cook in. I prefer coconut oil, but really it's a preference on what you choose. So the first thing we have to do is peel our sweet potato. I just use a peeler, it's super simple, and then we're ready to go. Okay, now that we've peeled our potato, they want you to cut it into very small rounds. So we're just going to slice these, and we're going to eventually brown these on both sides, and they'll actually be the base of our chorizo. Excuse me, I keep saying chorizo. It'll be our base of our frittata. Okay, so we have these all cut and we're just going to put them aside here. Now we have to cut up our onions. Now I think the onion is what actually makes this dish so good. It's the caramelization process, and that you can't skimp out on that because it makes the dish sweet along with the sweet potatoes. It's so good. So it's really important that you slice these really thin and you give it enough time to actually caramelize. Okay, so what the recipe calls to do is to cut this into quarters. And then from here, it's super easy to control it to be able to cut it into very thin strips. Okay, so now we're going to get it on over the skillet and start to caramelize it. Okay, now that the coconut oil is melted, we're going to add our onions to this pot and stir that around. Okay, I'm actually going to transfer this pot to this back burner and let that caramelize back there. And on this one, we're going to add another skillet. Okay, so I turned the onions down to medium heat, and this is now melted. And we're going to add our sweet potatoes. I'm going to arrange them so I can get the most amount in this pot to cook. We're going to let this heat up on one side first, and then we'll flip them over. Okay, so let's start flipping these over and getting the other side brown. Okay, now that these are nice and brown, we're going to take a pie dish or a round dish and put these at the bottom, lining it as your base for your frittata. Okay, I'm going to bring the onions back here so you can kind of see what's happening with them. And now we're going to add some salt to further help the caramelization process. Okay, we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and we'll mix that around. I'm heating up in the background some soup that I had cooked in bulk last week. The white chicken chili soup, which is excellent, by the way. My husband's hungry, and so he's getting ready to eat some of that. But it's frozen, so I have to thaw it quickly. So while the onions are still cooking, I'm going to be chopping up some of this Adele's chicken and apple sausage. This is perfect for this dish. It's sweet and Whole30 approved. So I like to cut these down the middle and then slice them. It makes it easier that way. Now that we're all done with this, we just need to add it to a pot and cook it up a little bit. As you can see, these onions are caramelized and brown, and they're going to be delicious on this frittata. So I'm going to put these aside, and in the meantime, we're going to start cooking the sausage. So we're going to add this to the hot skillet with the coconut oil. I'll just use this from the onion dish, and we'll just let that cook up. Okay, so the sausage are nice and brown, and I'm just gonna add this to the dish, evenly distribute it around the pan. Now our yummy caramelized onions are ready to go over the top. Honestly, you can never have too much of this. I probably should have done 2 onions instead of 1, because this is what makes the dish so incredibly yummy. And then try to even it out as much as possible. Okay, so the final step is to combine 6 eggs. An 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to whisk this together. Once this is whisked, we'll pour it over the frittata dish and it'll be ready for the oven. So all we do now is pour everything evenly over the sausage and potatoes. This dish cooks up so nicely, and it will also reheat nicely for the rest of the week for our breakfast. Well, at least 2 of the days I probably can get out of it.